folks. I'm in Texas today. I'm headed over to the Vintage Flying Museum to hang out with the guys at Hangar Rats with the Hollywood Bomber, and maybe catch up with some of the folks that are working on A-26 Night Mission and Special K. So I'll see what happens today. So I'm trying a new thing. I'm doing a voiceover to clue you in onto what's going on the videos. Here is, I'm looking at the back of the quick engine change assembly for Night Mission for their Fort engine. They're getting it all built up and ready to install on that A-26 in Fort Worth. And they're planning on flying by September. So one of the reasons I did this is I always look for things that will help us in our build. We're not using vacuum pumps, but a lot of the other stuff is the same. So it was just interesting to me to look and see what was going on in this QEC. And we have a delete on that vent up there on the top of the bell. There's the flat motor and all the conduit connections. Tack drive, the junction box. Yeah, we don't have any of that piping for the vacuum pump. So here I was invited to a hangar safety meeting. That was pretty interesting. There was stuff going on, and it was good to rub shoulders with everybody. And they bought pizza. The pizza was good. So I was just invited to a safety meeting here at the Vintage Aviation Museum and learned some things about Night Mission. They have their overhauled propellers back. Their engine is getting ready to be installed. They've got some riveting to do on the substructure on the nacelle. And according to the guys that are putting this together, they're hoping to hang the engine in the next week or so. They've been working really hard towards that end. And they're planning to have it flyable in September. So that's a really good thing. They've got their propellers all covered up. That's awesome. And then the guys that are working on Special K over here, building up a replacement landing gear, figuring out all the dimensional information for him to do the sheet metal repair on the back of the nacelle. So I've been down here for a few hours at the Vintage Flying Museum. I'm here with Dallas from the Hollywood Bomber over in the North Hangar, and he's kind of run out of things to do over there. So he's over here working on A-26 stuff for Night Mission. We're getting some things cleaned up, some hoses replaced for the vacuum system on that bird. They're getting really close to hanging an engine. I think I heard that they were going to try to hang it this week if he gets everything done. Still got a lot to do though. Steve Swift is over doing some riveting on some skins for that engine mount on the left nacelle. So we'll see what else happens before the end of the day. Here's another place where I just wanted to see what other invader groups have done with their installations. Now they've got the Bendix Scintilla mags where we have the GE mags, and so things are a little bit different on the top of the gear nose gear housing. But it's fun to look around at all this stuff. And these were some some drains, some vents on the very bottom of the engine. I don't quite understand what those are about. We don't have those, and I know there's holes in the lower cowl for those to slip out of when you put the cowl on. And there's a T28.
So I'm over here with Bill and the crew on Hollywood Bomber, and they're going crazy trying to get the instrument panel in so they can run the engines. Let me turn this around. Bill made the comment a minute ago that they were taking a lot of wires out. He's decided that there's a whole lot more been put back in. So after hours and hours and hours of work, these guys just about have this panel mounted. Now they're just got to sort through the miles and miles of wires. Very pretty though.
So while we were in Texas, I had the opportunity to go to the Frontiers of Flight Museum at the Dallas Love Airport. And it's a really good museum. They have some great galleries, spaceflight being one of them. They have everything from the first man in space up through the landing on the moon, including they have the Apollo 7 space capsule on display there. It was the model collection was absolutely stunning in all kinds of various formats, from dioramas to just aircraft. Um, they had actual spacesuits, things like that. There was just incredible displays. Um, I really enjoyed walking around here. There's a main floor, there's an upper floor. Um, and it wasn't real busy, which was kind of nice compared to some museums I've been in. Um, like I said, the models were really, really cool. A little later in the video, you'll see that I was able to stop in and hang out with the model builders for a few minutes. Just a little footage on that. And I don't know if some of these, so that was an exercise bike in the Skylab. I don't know if that's the actual artifact or if that's a model of it. Just a lot of artifacts around the museum. There's a Bell 47, reminiscent of MASH. I remember the old TV program Whirlybirds when I was a kid. That was a fun show. If you're in the Dallas area, you could do worse than to go see this museum. Now, here's the model airplane collection. Now, I've sped this up because there were just so many of them, from early flight in different countries up through present day aircraft. And I think, if I remember right, this was all done by one guy. And absolutely great modeling. Mosquito there. Yeah, they had these separated by different countries and timelines. Through the early jet age. 'Of Yeah, this was a really cool thing. Tomcats, P3 Orion, Pogo, F-15 Eagles. There was a T-33 and Thunderbirds livery, A-10, AV-8B, a few helicopters, F-111, F-117, A-12 and SR-71, U-2. And then there were displays in other places that pertain to, like this was aircraft carrier, Vietnam War stuff. There's the F-105. There's my baby. That's my A-26. It was just not in a position I could look at the top of this thing. But pretty fun. And then just different displays for different area, different genres. This was a huge B-17 model in a display case. That was pretty cool. Their engine displays. Models everywhere. PBY, Dauntless, TBM, Zero, P-38, P-61, P-51 Mustang, large scale. B-26 Marauder, Spitfire, P-47 Thunderbolt. The hardware out of a B-17 bomber. B-29. Now you're into the commercial side. Igor Sikorsky's first functional helicopter. So this museum is sponsored by Southwest, and in the North Hangar they have a 737 that you can go up in the fuselage, and they've got a bunch of displays up in there. This was kind of cool. This was a 747 passenger airliner cutaway, showing all the seating and the different compartments. The F-18 Hornet in Blue Angels colors. Again, I've sped all this up because there was just too much to see. Beautiful airplane. Strategic Air Command display, B-52, B-29, B-36, B-47.
Are you from the Discovery Channel?
No, but I do have a YouTube channel.
Okay, so you want gonna have to contact my agent. 'Cause
No, no,
I'm a
no.
member of the Screen
They
Actors
would
Guild.
have a hard time paying you anyway. They have yet to be paid. They're all waiting for checks, as a matter of fact.
That was my visit with the modelers. And then this is the main gallery. And they really like their Navy planes. And this is a display about Braniff Airlines and the different uniforms over the years. Spaceship One. There's a T-38 right behind it hanging from the ceiling. There's Apollo 7 space capsule. Been kind of avoiding the one of the main attractions here. There's a Huey. There's a F-8 Crusader, an A-7 Corsair. Uh, but now here's something you never see anywhere else because there's only one of them. Now that's the Huey still. The Flying Pancake XF5U V173. This was a test aircraft for slow speed and vertical flight. They spent a lot of hours in that cockpit, and it was restored by the Vought company. There's another view of Apollo 7. I think that's the F1 engine out of the Apollo Saturn V's. This was one of the dioramas that I saw that depicted the entire flight from the Earth to the Moon and back again. Yeah, the F1 rocket engine for the Saturn V. Yeah, here's the Flying Pancake. Apparently, this is on loan from the Smithsonian after it was restored. It looks like a pancake with ears. In the museum, they have a kids area, and what you're going to see next is the simulator area, and the kids area is right next door. There's an F-16 simulator. Got an opportunity to fly in one of those at Hill years ago. That was pretty fun. And then this is SR-71 simulator. There's an SR-71 model hanging from the ceiling. This is all the control stuff that they would use when this was in actual use. So there's the forward cockpit. And the next thing you're going to see, it's really hard to see inside, but the rear cockpit, and that's this right here. And it's too bad you couldn't see better in there. There's an F4 Phantom simulator. Both seats. There's an old Link trainer. And that's really upgraded from the very original ones. that would be connected to a table. Now there's I think it's a J79 power plant for the SR-71. There was a lot of exotic metals. T-33 ejection seat simulator. And then right next to it is the T-33 cockpit simulator. Well, not a lot on this trip about A26s, but I'm really hoping that you enjoy the video. I'd appreciate it if you haven't subscribed, that you would subscribe and share it out. This is just outside the museum, a T-33, F-105, a Learjet. The Huey, F-16, EA-6B Prowler. There's a 737 that's in the museum. And this was kind of the piece de resistance. We went to the Texas Riders game, and there's a lazy lake that we got to sit in and watch the game. So thank you from us at High Maintenance Hangar. Hopefully you'll tune in again. Thanks for watching.